Alrighty, how's it going, everybody? Let's go ahead and get started, and let's talk about first, as we usually do, some of the stuff that I've changed. So after yesterday's, there's a siren outside. Hopefully not too loud. So as we discussed yesterday, for those who were at the stream, if you weren't, no worries. We had another storm come in, and I think universally most people thought that the storms did too much damage to be considered like good gameplay, which is valuable feedback. So I reduced the storm damage, so our base should be able to withstand more from those. I also added the AQD tarps mod, so we'll be able to throw those up and then maybe a welder underneath them, and those can act as buffers for the corrosive rain and the superheated thermal storms, because they do damage from the top down. What else do I have here? Oh, we can die again, which is great. Let me open up my mask. Hey, so now I can't ignore things like food and water. I replaced the tech tree, the vanilla tech tree, with an updated version of the mod that was posted here yesterday. In the chat, somebody told me that they made an updated version, and then one of the other critiques from yesterday was the ore yield. It wasn't as big of one as the storm damage, but just making it so things didn't take quite as long, because since we're doing this live, it can be a little bit boring if we're just spending all of our time mining. So with that out of the way, let's see who's in the chat. Dodsy, hello. Nico, hello there. Flaming Seagull, how's it going? Glad he's back at it with SE again. Love the NSS. Thank you very much. Is that Yassine? I'm so sorry if I'm butchering everybody's name. But ayo, that British gamer, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. I'm just making sure this was off. All right. There's no O2. We have our robot drone there. David, very happy you're back doing SE. Thank you. SGR 1991, hi, how's it going? TNT Craft, welcome back, man. 8 Umu 8, I don't know. Hi, how's it going? Furkan Turhan. I feel like everyone is just gonna clip these and be like, look at how bad he is at sounding out words. Hello, will you be able to build rovers today, or should we launch warheads at your base? I'm hopeful for building rovers today. That would be pretty nice. And it starts with us finishing this habitat. When I was doing the changing of parameters and stuff, I added these blocks here, mostly for the thumbnail that I put out that you guys saw. But all of the interior still needs a little bit of work. And so I'm going to run over to the iron thing, and hopefully we have a good amount of iron that we can just walk back and get situated. In fact, I'm actually going to bring RD1 with me, or RB1. I might need to change his name to RD1. Because I made the joke yesterday. I don't know if anyone got it, but the second repair drone I'm gonna make is gonna be RDJ for Repair Drone Junior, but it's also a reference to Robert Downey Jr., who is famous for playing Iron Man. So it's kind of like a deep pull joke. But I'm bringing him with me because I can fill up his inventory as well as my own, and we can just bring more back just in case I can't grab all of it. Flaming Seagull can't hear the siren, so we're good. Well, that is good to hear. I have my windows open, so hopefully today I won't actually sweat through my clothes. It gets so hot in here with the multiple computers. Yeah, my office is not a big place. It is a small room. Okay. Let's see how his pathing works. I don't think he has analyzed this area, so we'll see if he can come down here, or if I'm gonna have to bring this stuff up to him. Don't forget your seat, TNT Crafts. I'm so sorry that I miss you saying those things on my way down here. Okay, I'm gonna throw this over to RD1. Jem, hello. How's it going? Dixie Normus. The great name, and also it's been a while. It has been. I do wish I got your name before I said it out loud, but that's a good one. So we're gonna end up with the whole Avengers squad. Nice. That would be, oh, that'd be a good idea. The other AIs that I'm gonna make with the AI enabled mod, I don't think, because this whole playthrough idea is based off of having like colonists come to this settlement. So I'll probably have the other ones not be the same like robot body, but instead like actual engineer bodies. And we have that, I forget the name of the mod. I really should have looked it up. But we have a mod that lets you change into different spacesuits. And I also added that into the config of the AI enabled mod. So now we have custom models for the NPCs. And so I can have like a guy that looks like a soldier or a guy that looks like a builder or whatever the other ones are that are in there. And we can kind of set up the settlement to feel a little bit more alive with other humanoid looking people. And so we can name them all things like Bruce Banner and Thor. Why am I blanking on the Avengers right now? That is very uncharacteristic of me. There was a time in my life where the Avengers was all I knew. Okay. Let's throw the stuff in here and let's get to work. I'm gonna set this guy RD1 to patrol. Ooh, actually, come back here. Come back here. If I click on patrol again, yeah, rename. Nope. The bot manager portal doesn't want to work from that far away. Okay. I need the interior blocks, because that's what we were using for the floor. Get that going. So we're gonna, oh yeah. Tower improvement today? Yes, Proto Eden. Tower improvements today. I said at the beginning I added the tarp mod. I think that might come into play for this as well, because now that I can just paint those to be, I also added, by the way, the, what was it? The plastic armor to the ones that are immune to the weather damage, just so that way I could make the tarps be like a fun color, because otherwise they would have been textured like concrete, and I feel like that doesn't really look very tarp like. I don't know. It didn't really work for me, so I did the plastic. And then we can just have a nice vibrant color. Okay. And I'm trying to remember, this goes right there. Also heavy metal. I did have at like 1 a.m. last night, I had somebody ping me on the Discord after watching the episode and said, Mavin, why don't you just paint the roof and the walls and the floors with the concrete texture? He's like, I don't think that that's considered cheating, because in the real world right now today, in environments where there is like danger, they build the buildings out of concrete for that reason. That's an actual thing that happens right now. And I'm not doing that. And I thought that was a honestly really, really solid argument. Sometimes you're looking so closely at something that you don't see it. I haven't implemented that yet, because I would have to kind of go back to the drawing board on how do I balance this challenge. But that was a really solid point that made me stop and go, huh, yeah, that's a really really good point. Maybe I am being a little dumb right now. Black Widow, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Hawkeye, and Hulk. What is Black Widow's first name? I know her last name's Romanoff. And then Iron Man is Tony Stark. Thor is Thor, Odin's son. Captain America, Steve Rogers. Hawkeye. Oh, why can't I remember Hawkeye's name either? That's embarrassing. Yeah, Natasha. Okay. And then, because they had a whole Hawkeye TV show. I didn't watch all of it, but I feel like I should. And then Bruce Banner. Hey, first time catching a stream. Usually stream when I just went to bed or about to work, but I'm glad to be here. I'll catch up in 2x speed. Well, thanks for being here. I'm glad you could catch the stream. All right, we have Troy. I'm just gonna paint him so that way he stands out from the background. I would paint Abed too, but it would also paint the desk that Abed is working at. Do we care that much? A little bit. Here's what I'll do as a compromise. I'll just paint him the same color that works with everything else. Or I leave Abed the gray color, and then we paint the rest of the room to be a different. I don't know. We'll experiment with paints and stuff later. I feel like we've been waiting so long for this building to get done, so we could unlock the stuff for rovers, that messing with paint colors right now, probably not the best use of time. Alright. So we have power again, not a ton, but I'm not going to get any silicon from the iron mine, obviously. So I'm thinking we just turn the ore taps back on. And in fact, I'm actually not using this event controller for the event right now. So instead, what I'm going to do is turn this to ore tap on off, and what it's going to do is when the not power output, stored power, of... Yeah, the advanced warfare battery is below, let's say, 15%, then we will trigger our event, which is not the events, but our... I don't even have those in a group yet. Let's do that. Alright, go back to the event controller, set up actions, groups, or tap, and slot 1, when each block is less than or equal to 15, let's toggle blocks off. And when it's greater than, let's toggle blocks on. There we go. Cool. Awesome. Alright. Don't know why no skin on the painter's HUD amuses me so much. That's pretty funny. What are you doing, man? Just chilling, waiting for some components to be made? Alright, let's make some components then. If he's just chilling here. Let's make some steel plates. And I also wanted to make actually, let's make the stuff I need to make the windows first. And then we'll make some more steel plates. Does anyone else participate in this survival with you? No, they do not. This one's just a solo playthrough. But I've been hearing from people that they are interested in the Skyjack crew getting back together, which I've said a couple times, but I just wanted everyone to know. We still hang out regularly and play games regularly. We just stopped with Skyjack because of there was some issues with the game and also just scheduling stuff. You know, things happen, but we still hang out and play games. All right, we need new names for just people hanging around the base. These other NPCs. This guy's a contract giver, but I like this model. We're not really going to use the contract thing, but I do think that is fun that there's more greebles around it, so like data pads and stuff, so we'll use that. Xander the Straw. Sure. Can you name one Tammy? Maybe. I'm trying to remember what's all over here. So we have the bathroom, the 2 beds, and the locker. Okay, so we have the 2 beds. We're missing the locker. Why does it feel like this room is bigger than that room? Maybe just because it's still open on this side. What you doing, man? I think our robot friend here is struggling right now because we reloaded the world. Oh no, I say that, but he's actually currently working on stuff. Oh, sorry, man. I'll get out of your way. You know what? I might need to make a second walkway or something, because the idea of having the hallways is a fun one, but I'm also running into our robot, and if this is like the main area, I might have to make like a bypass, because they will prioritize other pathways over doors, because the doors have a higher movement cost. So we might need to use that, so that way we don't just keep bumping into each other. All right, and the locker. This guy right here. Honestly, I feel like I like this idea more, and then I can have like a spot specifically for the armory style stuff. Oh, well then again, this is yeah, we'll just do it. We'll do it for simplicity. Gregory. Since you have Abed, you can have a chair. I don't know how to spell or how to pronounce that. A chair. Graham. I'm going with George. The playthrough got derailed from all the jokes. It truly did. It truly did. No, not the jokes. It got derailed, for lack of a better word, because I picked the wrong dang planet. Ooh, I actually like that. Having this guy, like, yeah. That's cool. How do I weld this guy up, though? Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe I leave that to the professionals. Like RD1. Yeah, I'll leave that to RD1 to do. And let's put the bay windows down here. Hey Mavin, do you have a plan for a rover? 4-wheeled 6-8. How many cargo containers? I currently do not have a plan. Usually with rovers, I just kind of wing it, and I make changes as I go based on kind of what the needs that arise. Right now, the rover is primarily just going to be for transporting iron from that other spot over to here. So I don't think it's going to have any tools or anything on it. It's just going to be cargo, which means I also want to make the I need to have a conveyor going from the ore tap over there at the iron vein to up to the surface, so that way we can actually put a car on it and bring it over. But the thing is like I can see it from here.
Energy low.
No, I said I wanted to do like cars and stuff, drones and everything. So I was debating using conveyors and just making a pipeline go over there, but that's not that is a possible solution, but it's not the one I want to take. All right. We have successfully set up the second room. I guess I should probably put a door, right? I'm going to leave this seat on here so I remember. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Ooh, is that going to mess up my hallway up here? Oh, nope. Okay. There's that door, and then let's do it on the other side. And I'm back. How's it going, that British gamer? How's it? Oh, he literally said the exact same things I did. How's it going? Let's see. Oh, I can't put this door here because I put this guy here. Whoops. The sad truth is I actually don't know how to get rid of this guy. Oh, wait. Nope. Yeah, I don't know how to deal with that. Whoops. Well, it's like, it's not like I can just I have to jump into creative. Are you using more passages mod? I'm not. Agony base. Haha, Mad Mavin, name it. Maybe. It might be agony base. Alright, let's go into creative mode and get rid of this guy. Did that take... Okay, cool. So then, let's get out. And let's put a different guy somewhere else. Maybe, as much as I think the offset is really cool, I'm realizing that perhaps it is... I was going to say maybe not the move, but honestly...
Energy
I feel like there's so much cool stuff you can do with it. Nope, can't put him there. We just did that. God, just guarding the bathroom? No, you're not getting in here. Yeah, we're gonna do that. That's pretty funny. All right, now we can put the door back down. All right, there we go. I'm going to put this stuff to construct so RD1 can take care of it for us. And let's throw down this guy right here. Why can't we? Oh, because there's a block in the way. And I will also put some additional... Well, actually, let's let it get through that stuff first. Let me hop in here for some energy and read some comments. A train is also an option. Sorry, I'm just like jumping around the chat right now. Are you still immortal or not? I am not still immortal. I can definitely die now, so we'll have to pay attention to food and water and things. It matches the current ones and has solutions for things like this. Oh, really? Interesting. All right, Ricky, I'll write that down. What'd you say it was called again? It was, let me look through the comments. It was, are you using the... More passages mod? More passages. I wrote it down, and we'll check it out for the next time. All right. I am going to run back over and get some additional iron. And then since we have the two other NPCs right now, we can grab the other research stuff. So let's see. Right now I have the basic automation, the conveyor sorter. Yeah, all of the versions of the conveyor sorter. And then the flexible item transfer. Wasn't there one? I remember yesterday when I was messing with this on screen. Yeah, so I started with this one because we needed an oxygen tank on the base, and I couldn't build it in creative mode after I'd already made the thing. So, so we started with this tech. I researched these two with our first one, so then this one was accidentally grabbed. So that counts as one of our unlocks. And then the other unlock, do we want decoy? See, that sucks because I actually don't need the decoy. So let's get the wheels. But I can only use 5x5 wheels right now, which is kind of funny. So let's grab that, unlock the wheels. Yep. I also have the lifted suspension mod. Yep. Just because I think it looks cool and it's a little nicer to work with when they have more suspension. So it's weird that it didn't give me that check mark for grabbing it. But that's fine. And then we also wanted, this is the cockpit. This is probably the other wheels, I'd imagine. Yeah, that's the other wheels. This one is flexible item transfer schematics. So that would probably be the advanced item transfer, which is the connector. Okay. And then that guy is a vending machine? I'm going to take that off. I don't really need a vending machine. So the real thing we need is just this one to get the cockpits. Okay. So let's add to our production queue the research materials. And then while that produces, I'm going to run over and grab some more iron. And the other thing is before I can, I mean, I can still build the rover before then, but what I am really going to want to do is add the tarps and probably make it so our power doesn't get shut off. Oh, hold on. I have to stop literally everything else. I cannot get back over here and have TNT see me walk over here without building a passenger seat. I'm not going to do it again. I've already done it to him like 10 times. TNT, that one's for you. Can you use a remote control in the meantime for the rover? I don't know if I have access to remote controls. Let's see. I do not. I do have access to, I think, the small grid antenna. These antenna aren't supposed to be unlocked yet, but they're part of a DLC. That one also shouldn't be unlocked quite yet. But it does look like we can use the small antennas. The base one is available. Yippee, he remembered. Yeah, after, like, you reminding me so many times. Wait, what was that NPC bent over a desk? Yeah, I wanted to... I think we'll use that one later. I think it's going to be hard to do it for those, like, tiny little habitat ones, because we didn't leave, like, a ton of room. But, yeah. Let's put the passenger seat right here. And I'll put it... Well, I don't really need to put it in concrete. Oh, yeah. There we go. How nice. Alright. Down the mines. Oh, how nice is that? It'd be nicer if I had a car to be able to move it. Bent over a desk does not mean what you think it means. Yikes. No, it does. Now that you've pointed it out, I don't have a brain for innuendo when I'm trying to work on space engineer stuff. Why not use catwalks and stairs for the stairs up to the tower? Mainly because I was trying to do it quickly, and I plan on replacing them with something better. Right now, it's just utility only, but I think I'm gonna put this stuff in the base, and then we're gonna head over to the to-do list, and I'm gonna write all this stuff out, both on the to-do list on that LCD screen, but then also I have a little notepad right in front of me that I'm also going to use as a to-do list, so that way I don't have to go back to the base to look up what I want to do. Okay, so to-do list. So we have actually successfully built this bunkhouse. It's not entirely done around the outside, but it's not entirely welded around the outside, but the bunkhouse is done, which is wild because that took us so long to do. We also repaired Troy. This was done last time. I should probably name those other guys. Build a rover. I'm actually going to put better wind turbines before the rover, and I'll tell you why. Because if a storm comes while we're building the rover and it knocks out our ability to get iron, this process is going to take significantly longer than if we could just make it so we had a system where our wind turbines didn't die every time a storm came through. I did reduce the damage, but I also think that that is a lesson I should keep in mind for this entire playthrough. And I also am going to need some kind of like simple garage. Mainly something with a roof. It doesn't even have to be fully a garage. Now that we have the tarps, I can just build a platform with tarps on top of it, but I need a roof. So I'm just going to do roofed build area instead of garage. Just so that way when we build the rover, our small grid won't just get destroyed. Because the damage done to small grids, just by nature of how everything works, is more than what gets done to the large grids, because it's proportional. I guess because it's not proportional, it does the same damage to the small grids that it does to the large grids. So the small grid is not going to survive as long. All right. And I'm going to write this down on my little notepad right here. Oh, I'll build the rover, and then after the rover, I'm going to conveyors for iron mine. Yeah. Okay. That is the plan. Let's see what people are saying. That guy and who? Can you use the remote control? Oh yeah, we talked about that. It's all Flintstones. Let's set. Hold on. How do I do the naming convention? Hab 1 colonist Abed. So this is. Nope. Hab 1 colonist Troy. And then I think I'm just going to do the whole community crew. So we'll call this guy Pierce. I don't know if that's how Pierce spelled his name in the show, but it's all good. We get the joke. And then this is who would be the funniest person to room with Pierce? Shirley? Shirley and Pierce being in a room would be pretty funny. Okay. Let's grab our extra research materials out of there and put it in the research lab. Ooh, actually, I want to put the research lab somewhere else because everyone has been saying that whenever I get close to it, it screws up the audio of the game. I don't really know a better spot to put it in the time, like, for right now. Oh, you know what? Because I think it has, hold on the mod page, I think it says that there is a spot, a conveyor spot for it on the underside or something. Let's see. Must be stored in a data storage block. Players can share schematics on death. Unlocks a reset. Underside of the block. Yes, there is an invisible conveyor on the underside. Okay. So I'm actually going to put it down here so that way it's not something that you guys have to deal with from a volume perspective. Hopefully. Let me make sure like it's actually out of range. Yeah, I'm gonna go down here, and then this way it will be really, really out of range. And we can just have the data go straight from the assemblers into this thing. So let's go research lab. Okay, and then yeah, that at the bottom. Oh, because these blocks down here are a separate grid. Okay. I can only have one research lab. Awesome. I actually was curious about that, because if it did let me place it down, I was thinking, oh man, we can have several research labs. But that is not the case. Ooh. What's unfortunate about this is I actually can't move this without pulling the... either dropping the schematics how do I do this without just giving myself the... Oh, you know what? This is the decoy. We don't really need it, so I'll just get rid of it, and I bet RD1 is gonna pick it up. And then if somebody wants to remind me at some point later on that RD1 has it, then we can get it back from them. Yep. All right, that's how we'll handle that. So that way I don't just give myself the thing that we didn't pay for. Okay. Hopefully the audio doesn't glitch, but this is in preparation for if it does. So, sorry in advance to everybody. Did you put the tarp on the roof yet? I have not, Mark. I was planning on doing this research lab thing first, because it takes time for your science to research. And I wanted to have this thing start doing that while we were making the adjustments to the base. Yeah, it's probably glitching a little bit right now, the audio. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here, and we will have it go back to producing stuff. Is it currently still janky audio? Oh, which one do we have queued up? The cockpits, that's what it was. Okay. So this is gonna start working. It says it's gonna take 20 minutes, but I have the assembler speed on whatever the default is, which I think is like ×3, so hopefully it doesn't actually take 20 minutes. I thought... You know what? I'll just delete it. That's fine. Like, it's not a huge sink of resources, so... a lot of scrap metal. It's not... It doesn't count as a... floating object? Oh, cargo bag. Okay. It's weird that it was called a bag. Alright. If we want decoys later, I can just repay for it. I'd rather do that than not have... I don't even know what I wanted that sentence to be. Happens to me all the time. Okay. Now, while that's researching our cockpits, and we're waiting for that to happen, let's go put tarps on stuff. Oh, well, we have on our to-do list the wind turbines first. And I also, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I actually have the resources to do tarps on stuff, because we need a bunch of silicon and we're kind of waiting for that stuff. So let me hop off the roof and we'll focus on something else first. Probably could just turn that guy back on, huh? Alright. Audio seems fine. Glad to hear it. There we go. Oh, not that one. Alright, wind turbines first. Let's see what other people are saying. Mad Mavin, wow, that's a link. Oh, yeah. Why not use the catwalks and stairs? We already talked about that. Do you have the actual scaffold blocks that we can use instead of the unfinished blocks? That way we can force you to weld them up and can make any scaffold block into concrete and use them. I guess that's a good point. We could try that. How is the scaffold blocks in comparison to... Yeah, I mean, they're cheaper because girders definitely don't take as much as steel plates. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. The only issue is that I would also need to have the stairs on there because they are in a different category, which is kind of a little annoying. I know that Wellington 6012 or he has like 2 channels that have different numbers at the end. But I know that he made a mod that actually addresses this issue. My fear in adding it, even though I really wanted to, was that because this is based off of block groups, the like unlocking of blocks in the research tree, my fear is that by messing with the block groups using that mod, it would make it so it would unlock stuff when it shouldn't. Otherwise, that would be pretty cool. All right, let's think about how we want to do this part. My current thought right now is to do some kind of hinging mechanism, because if I do double hinges, because in order to merge onto something with grids, I learned that having two subgrids between them is kind of the way you need to do it. So if we do double hinges, and then we have a merge block facing up, and then a merge block facing down off the hinges, we can have the wind turbines point like horizontally or a little less than horizontally, but then we can essentially have some kind of armor that protects it. Ooh, actually, hold on. So let me switch over to the spectator so we can kind of look at what I'm talking about. I wish I had a way to draw on this. So currently where the half slab is, if I make it so that is something that won't connect to the block above it, so maybe if I turn it into another little like half slab ramp thing, then we can have the armor that's meant to protect the wind turbine in a storm be on the side of it. And then where the gray is, we have a merge block, and then we have the merge block for the wind turbine above that. And then it kind of like locks into place, and the armor will continue, and it will look like it's one thing together, and then it can fold down, and then the armor that's on the side right now would then be on top of the pillar, I guess. I don't know if that makes a ton of sense, but that's what I'm going to try to do. So, in order to do that, how is
Energy
the
critical.
Yeah. All right. Where I'm going to start it is actually right there. Let's paint it so I know. Right there. So so that way it'll still be connected to the grid by this bottom one, and then we'll replace that top one with the merge block. All right. Let's get some energy and get this done. Is this NSS or something else? This is something else. Guy, how are we doing, guys? That aren't me. I think we're doing good. Good morning from Australia. If you use Control Plus, you can cycle through overlays to see conveyor ports. If you cycle Control Plus. Really? Whoa. I did not know that. And I will likely forget that, but that is... Hopefully I don't actually forget that. Get your science progress too. Wheels are needed. Yes, yes. All right, let's get a merge block right here. Okay, like that, and then we want our hinges and our, let's just make sure we have all of our stuff. I also like this idea because it means that if I tilt my wind turbines down, I can repair them or make any adjustments that I want to horizontally, which means I don't have to have a huge tower that goes to the top, which would be pretty nice. Alright, so that's the 0 position. Let's do that. And let's not forget to hinge lock it. And then let's put the second hinge, same direction. And ooh, is that going to be... Let's try to situate that in such a way. Honestly, the second hinge is kind of not really necessary, I don't think. I mean, it's necessary to merge, but I don't think it's really necessary as far as angles go. We'll just tilt this one. I don't know. Let's just weld them up and see what we can do. I actually do think both of them are going to be, now that I'm thinking about it, this is going to be up to its full extension, and then this is going to flip over. Alright, I'm actually going to move the spectator camera really fast. Alright, we're good. I am running low on water. Guy, I could be asking a silly question, but do the storms treat subgrids differently to main grid blocks and have different damage calculation for them? I don't think so. I did some testing with subgrids just to see, not exactly that question, but I had some similar questions about how it addresses them. Honestly, I actually think that subgrids are kind of, they're not entirely immune, because I did test the idea of having a shield that deploys and goes over stuff in a different world, and they will take damage and get painted, but it looks like the way it calculates your subgrids is actually from its connection point. So if you have a piston that's like facing upwards, it'll start at the base of the piston and go to the top, which is opposite of the way that the damage is usually done, where it goes from top to bottom, meaning that I think if you have something on a piston, it's actually if the base of your piston is lower than the ceiling or whatever else, it won't damage it, is what it feels like. I didn't like follow that theory very far, but it is what it seems like. All right, we are at 0 and we want to go probably top. And let's make the lower limit 0. All right. And this guy, same deal. Velocity Well, actually, let's... Oh, speaking of a storm, I guess we'll test out the idea. Dang, this is not what I wanted right now. All right. I guess we'll do this in a sec. I'll leave this one here just to see how it does, if it's going to mess with the hinges, but we kind of have to switch up our ideas here. Is the music bugging out? Hopefully not. Oh, let me mute it and we'll come back. Sometimes when you do the audio capture, it gets messed up. I don't know why, but I've noticed it with game recording and everything. Okay, I would like to... you guys just do your thing. Are you gonna head up there? I think we're gonna want... We're gonna want some extra steel plates. I reduced the damage. It seems like, even though I feel like I didn't reduce it by that much, it does feel like we were doing significantly less damage. Yeah, the bugginess is gone now. It was the music causing it. All right, how about now? I'm turning the music back on. Let me know if it still sounds weird.
Energy low.
You know, Carl, you made an observation yesterday, and I'm seeing that you are, as most times, you were right. It is not, while it is grinding the blocks away, if they don't get to 0, we don't lose the components. So that means if I run over to the wind turbines and I just keep welding them up, hopefully we don't lose them. So let's just... Obviously, this is not a long-term solution because as your base continues to grow and your power needs continue to grow, trying to run over and repair all of your stuff is not going to work out. But also, you're not going to be able to have a small grid ship in the storm right now. Okay, let's get some energy back. What do we think about damage so far compared to yesterday, those who were here? Why not put welders under the turbines? That is also an option. I do plan on doing something like that. But there is a part of this that is like an aesthetic that I want to go for, where when we have like these big bad storms, we have a like shutdown sequence where everything goes kind of into hiding. And so that way, like, I want to like be able to see the flashing, rotating lights and the alarms blaring, and then the wind turbines will go down and the armor will come out. And I think that just that idea is a cool one for this kind of planet and playthrough. Because you're right, like with the way, given the mechanics of the storm, if it does keep all the components, which it looks like it does. Having a welder there would just mitigate it almost entirely. This storm, the thermal storms are different. Those ones you will need components for. Okay, I'm gonna leave that for a sec. and try to get to these guys. Oh, that one's fine. Better so far. Can you add small block welders above them? We definitely could. Again, once the storm passes, we're gonna get back to work on our wind turbine. And I had this from the beginning. I didn't implement it, but I do have the stackable wind turbines. I wanted to see if I could make the twin blade work because I think they look cooler, but I think we might just stick with the stackable. Just because they are superior. Can you put power generation to the top of the bot's weld priority? That also is something that we could do for sure. I just don't know if the bot is gonna go up there. Maybe he could. Okay, now this is interesting to me. I don't know why these blocks are getting hit by the storm, because it's supposed to be, oh, maybe because they're all on the same plane. So I might have to put some kind of little awning over here so that way it doesn't get to the glass. I'm pretty sure power generation is high by default on the weld priority. I think the reason it's not doing it right now is because of the pathing that I've created for it. So maybe that's the thing we address in our V2 of the wind turbine tower over there, is making it so our drone can get to that spot. Alright, let's
Energy low.
just keep on going. Alright, looks like the storm is starting to lighten up. I didn't build these blocks with concrete. Mostly because I thought the roof would cover these guys, but apparently I was wrong on that. Let's get some more power. Don't forget the irons wind turbine. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that right now. I think I'm gonna have to focus on the main base first, and because we have a good amount of iron currently in that in the tap right now. Even if it does lose power, I'll still have several trips that I'll have to walk back and forth from. And we should have enough iron that I can use. Alright. I came in here to drink some water. Pressurize, toggle block off, and okay. All right, so yeah, I think that was a little bit more reasonable. Also, looks like the subgrid didn't. Well, that was funny. Didn't look like the hinge took any damage, so it'll be interesting to see how it treats the blocks outside of the hinge. It would make sense to me that the mod author made it so the actual subgrid like blocks, like the hinge and the piston and things, aren't the things that take a ton of damage, because if you destroy an entire subgrid, like, holding block, you could take a ship entirely apart in some circumstances. Okay, where did I put the ramp? There we go. Because we said I should actually use scaffolding and ramps as my scaffolding and ramps rather than just unwelded blocks. So I'll do that. Lost a window too. Yeah. Over on that building. Okay. Let's set this as concrete and we'll get set up. Put our hinge back. Oh, we already have it on this one. Okay, that's a negative. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna work. So I'm gonna move this back down then. So that way it'll be easier to add stuff rather than having to build that whole scaffolding going up. It will be very nice when I can set up some kind of automated system to bring that iron back over here. I'm looking at it from here. It does look like one of the wind turbines isn't moving. So we might want to fix that. We want the lower limit to be 0. And to reverse it. All right. I actually think I want to turn these stairs around. I'm trying to think what would be the best way to allow RD1 to get up there too. Yeah, let's just put one of these down. Okay, that should be hopefully RD1 friendly. Put those in concrete, and then we'll make some additional catwalks. And if I end up maybe figuring out a way that I can run conveyors down through here, I can set up welders underneath, so when it is pulled down like this, we can weld it back up or project stuff onto it. Alright, so we need the merge block facing this direction. Yeah, and then at that point, it's still not high enough, so let's add some columns, probably. Let's see. So where are we at? 1, 2, 3. No. It'll be 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait a sec. That's actually... Huh. This is facing... This is facing in such a way that I would actually be building down. I think, because this will flip all the way around, right? Yeah, because this is 90 and this is 90, so that's 180. So I'll have to change this so this angle lowers and this angle is up a little bit more. Yeah, yeah. No. My apologies. I think we'll just let it go all the way to 90. And, ooh, not right now though. Stop. And hinge lock. And then this will stay at its upper value. And we'll just lock it. Alright. That's how we'll handle that. I don't understand why you're using 2 hinge blocks. Because if you use one, it won't merge. There has to be like an additional subgrid between the grids in order to get it to merge back on in on itself. No, it's still messed up. Hold on. Yeah, this needs to be facing forward. Let's just test it really fast. So this, let's reverse it. The plan is to have everything tuck underground, like the Evangeline City, I think. Evangelion City? Okay, yeah, that's right. Wait, is it right? Now I'm actually unsure. I wasn't watching. I was reading comments while it was going. No, I think I am wrong, because it's just going to bring it up and it's going to want to use that block. So I had the merge block in the right position before, but that means that I would have to build off the top of it. Or I guess in this case it would be the bottom of it. Honestly, I don't want it to go fully underground the way it's going. Because I want it to just go this way. Because otherwise I would have to build like, I would have to drill out a huge area, and I currently don't have access to, I mean, I do have pistons, and I have small grid hinges, not large grid. I just don't, I would prefer not to do it that way. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Instead, we're going to reverse it again, and let's say when it gets to hinge lock, reverse. Alright. It's currently at what? I think
Energy low.
yeah, I'm having a hard time with my math here. You know what? I'm overcomplicating this, as I usually do. So let's let's not do that. Rather than trying to figure out how to make it work with my current catwalks, if I just take the hinge lock off, nope, hinge lock off, reverse, go back up, we'll set its lower limit back to 0. I know if I shift do this, it'll go faster. There we go. And see, there we go, merged. And I won't mess with this one. This one will just go the 90, and I'll redo this so it just goes up one more block, and we'll have what we wanted. I was being a bit stubborn there. Is there like a little half scaffolding frame? Doesn't look like it. Alright. I guess. I guess we'll just use that. Okie dokie.
Energy critical.
Oh, let's go solve that. Make the 2 go to 0 when folded, then unfold at 90. Go to 0. No, that's what I was doing. That's what I had originally, and it was still having issues. Because then it would be a full 180. So what I want it to be is just a 90-degree tilt, so that way the merge block faces horizontally. Which, honestly, if I would have taken a second to... Okay, let's turn this guy off. No, that one stays. This one moves. There we go. If I would have taken a second to do the math, I'm like, I want this part to be at a 90-degree angle, which is horizontal. Okay. Now we want columns. Goodness. What do we say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like a flat triangle. Yeah, I saw that. I just, it felt weird to have the flat triangle not really connect to anything down here. Maybe I'll even throw a another one of these guys right there. I don't know. And it might not be such a bad idea to have a ladder go back up, just so I don't have to keep walking around over and over again. And nah, let's not worry about that. The decoration part right this second. I am gonna need to make sure that the column goes out right there. One more. Because once I start placing the wind turbines, they're gonna mess, or they're gonna collide with my walkway, so I don't want to deal with that. So let's put that there, and then I think that's 7, but I'll call that good because we're gonna put multiple wind turbines on it. Stackable wind turbines. Oh, you know what? I just had a... Alright, I'm just gonna get this set up first, and then we'll think about my other idea that I just had was I could set it up so there is a catwalk on the side of this that you can walk across. And obviously when it's vertical you can't walk on it, but then when it flips down you can walk and do the repairs. Now you would have to have some kind of thing that extends it or twists it into place that's over the wind turbines themselves, or you could, I mean, you honestly can just walk on the wind turbines, which is probably what I'm about to do. Okay, let's get these ladders and stuff welded up, as well as get the components for the wind turbines. Do you have a hangar door? I don't actually think I do. Let's see. I have the what are these, Rebels gates mod, but I don't have the normal vanilla hangar doors yet, so I can't make those either. What's the mod for the build colors? I'm actually pretty sure it's called build colors. Oh. What's the advantage of using that? It's pretty cool because, so right now I just have it the default colors, and this is the orange that I'm using. But if I wanted to, I could change it to any one of these. So like when we go to put the tarps on, I'll probably turn it into one of these complementary colors. So this is, here, let me just show you while I wait for the let me get a second one of these going. So let me pick let's just use this red as an example. So instead of a random base color, I'm gonna put in this red, which is hue 0, saturation 49. So let's go 0, 49. Oh. I'm just gonna. $49.9. Dang it. It only goes to 100, so it's like kind of weird in the way that you handle it. Let's go 49. I'm just gonna leave it at 49. Or how about just 50? That makes more sense, doesn't it? Just use the slider, man. All right, and then down to 40. Oh, I think that's actually the green color. 120. I don't know how I switched it. 40 and then 40. Let's just say I was better at adjusting these. So now you have this green color that you're trying to do, or whatever custom color that you made. And then now when you go into the color scheme, this is just the default one where it kind of just randomly does it, but you can also go to analogs and you can go to complementary, monochrome, just give you different shades of the same color. And so it just means that you can really go wild with customizing your base, and instead of having to go to a third-party thing to get that done, you can just have it all right here, which is super nice. And you can save it, title it, and if you press load, it'll replace all of the colors that are currently in your color picker to be whatever this color palette that you want is. And you can also change the preset. So if you like the pastel colors, it'll make it so it falls within that range, or really hard colors, or really vibrant colors, or opposite muted. I like the muted just because I like the more worn industrial look. And yeah, anyway, so that's colors. I got it because I am typically one who struggles with coloring a base, and so having mathematically correct colors to use makes me feel a little bit more confident that I'm not just having something that looks totally whack. Alright, I brought the stuff for the ladder. Let's get that going. I'm not going to be able to get up here, am I? Oh. Alright, and let's throw another ladder. Honestly, the more I think about that idea of just having it won't be super friendly for NPCs really, because it'll be just kind of a floating grid next to an existing grid. But I don't know, it does seem kind of cool, doesn't it? Like if I just had the stairs. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. All of my engineering characters are canonically colorblind, so to solve the issue of my lack of imagination. That's kind of how I've been too, but this time I wanted to try to branch out a little bit. I did get started by, I think I've said this a couple times, but I saw Lunar Colony's video on like his survival ready starter base. And then I just kind of changed some of the stuff to work with the DLCs that I had. And he did the coloring, and so I like that as kind of a jumping off point for kind of how I was gonna approach the colors for this base. And so far I've liked the result. Where's that like half block again? I thought there was a half block without the... There we go. Alright, and then let's put the walkway, or the stairs. Hey! Cool, 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 cool. Alright, and now... like that. Like that, and then... awesome. That's cool. I see now. Gotta check it out. Thank you for the answer. No problem. No problem at all. Okay, let's grab the components for this and let's test this idea out. Also, I'm gonna switch it to daytime, so let's sleep through the night. I feel like you should be able to change the colors on blueprint projections. That would make things easier to color for small grid, but I'm lazy. There's actually, you can't do it from blueprints, but there is a block or a mod that gives you a color changing block. I actually don't, do I have it on here? I really, yeah, I do. So this block right here, it'll analyze your grid. It'll tell you how many of the blocks are at that like hex code for that color, and then you can just change the texture on it and the color on it based on what its current texture or color already is. I could maybe showcase that in just a second with the base. We can just slap it on there and I could just change the orange to a different color if we wanted. Yeah, that was a huge game changer for me. And so when you have like a ship that you're really satisfied with that you'd like to make variations on, just slap one of those blocks just underneath some of your armor, and then whenever you go to do the blueprint, you can just switch it out. Alright, I'm gonna weld these up. This still isn't very pretty, but at least I think it'll be better than what we've currently been dealing with. Ooh, you know what would be cool? I don't have the graded catwalk expansion, so this might not be possible. Yeah, because I don't think we're going to be able to put it in the... Wait a second. This may be tempting fate, and by fate I mean Clang, but nah, don't do it, man. I was going to say I could replace this, so the one on the subgrid is on the left, and then the one on the main grid is on the right, but because it's not going to merge and be the same grid when it's folded. And there'll be two blocks that occupy the same space. But I was thinking about switching these to be a smaller staircase that goes up to this thing, and then have it go off to the side, and then I can get underneath and get those columns. Because right now getting those columns is going to be a little bit tricky. Are you planning on building a cap on the topmost wind turbine? Would that protect from acid rain? Yeah, my intention is to make some kind of... oh, no. No, I don't need to cap this off because when it's folded like this, it doesn't matter, and I'm gonna when it's corrosive rain, I'm gonna store it like this rather than having it at the top. All right, I will think about, well, here, this is what I'll do. I'll set up a catwalk that goes, that is less than ideal, actually. Okay, this isn't really how I wanted to get this thing. I was gonna try to make it so I could just get up this one staircase and go over here and then have a similar design to that, but have it stop down here so I could get the underside as well. Those catwalks will affect the wind turbine's clearance also. These ones down here? Okay, I'll get rid of that one. But this one shouldn't, right? Because it's the collision box for this isn't even anywhere close to that. Use half catwalks on the column. Ladders. I don't know. Let's oh, you know what? I know what I'll do. I'll come up here and let's switch. We'll get rid of this guy. And we'll get rid of, well, honestly, if I just get rid of those, I can access these guys and weld them up. So that is a solution. I also like the idea of switching those full-size ladders to the smaller ladders, or not ladders, to the smaller stairs, just so it's the footprint of it isn't quite as wild. Question, if you lay this down right now, won't all the blocks take damage evenly rather than the top down? Sorry, you might have said while I was eating breakfast. Well, that's a good question. Yes, I think, even though we don't really know how exactly it fully responds to the subgrids, but the intention isn't just to leave it like this. The intention is to have something either on the main grid fold over it, or what we originally said was to have armor that like makes this tower look really cool when it's put in the spot. Like if you remember the original towers, how they had these orange blocks on the front that went up to it, we would have something similar, and it would just go as a deployable shield kind of thing that's on the grid itself. But we are not quite there yet. I already put this stuff to construction. Let's alright, let's get rid of this stuff too. And we'll do the half stairs. I just don't know what a good block for this little half piece would be. Is there like a little, just a little guy? That ain't great. We'll have to just make it work. So like blast doors? Yeah, we could do blast doors. I mean, I don't have them unlocked quite yet, but I really wish that I didn't need something to connect stairs together. Hello? That was weird. Alright. And now let's set up these guys and something like that. SE works out the clearance of wind turbines in a straight line. So if you offset them, each other, even just one block, you can get away with squeezing them closer together. SE works out the clearance of the wind turbines in a straight line. Well, but they're 3 by 3, right? So you'd have to offset them by more than that, right? I feel like if you could just offset it by a singular block, that would be the meta instead of doing like the plus shape. We have it on the left, right, top, bottom, and front and back. Or not bottom. Usually it's like that's your pillar and then... Yeah. Alright. Let's... I'm going to weld these up a little bit just in case something weird happens with the hinges that I'm not expecting, which, you know, we all know is possible. And then we'll flip this up and into place just to do a fit test and make sure that the wind turbines actually turn on. And then once that is the case, we can think about the deployable shield thing. Well, do we want a deployable shield? I mean, yes, that we want something to deploy to cover them up, but I'm almost wondering now if it would be cooler or maybe easier to just expand this main part right here out a bit and then just kind of have it nestle into a cage. Could be interesting. Prepare for clang. I mean, I've definitely been the subject of Clang's wrath many times, but I feel like this is comparatively simple to a lot of other stuff. I actually don't think I need... Yeah, I don't need this block anymore. I still do need that one. Alright. Let's... I'm trying to think of a good spot for this. For us to watch this. Do I have access to buttons? I do. Okay. We'll set up a button panel and I'll just have it reverse that hinge.
Energy low.
And we'll build it off of this for the time being. I'll replace it with something better and automatic in a minute, but I just want to do the test so we can all see it. Yeah, man, this is so exciting. My little robot friend. You could have a cargo at the end of the piston to retract to encase the wind turbine. Oh no, not cargo, cage. You could have a cage at the end of a piston that retracts. That's a good point. And as long as the wind turbines are, you know, I had never really considered, because when I was going through this in my head, I wasn't thinking about the stackable wind turbines, but yeah, because they have a collision at the end of them, that means we can put something on top and have the wind turbines be in between. So if we do put a piston, okay. Did I really not get the computers for this? If you rotated the tower to a pit with welders, that could work. Also true. Lots of ideas. Oh, you're saying a pit with welders instead of, like, instead of putting a cage on it, we could just let it get or grind down a little bit, but we would have the welders in place to fix it. That might be the most resource friendly, I guess, in the short term. Long term, probably not, because when the thermal storms come through, it'll actually be taking components away. But I do hear what you're saying. Okay, let's. I should have done a different one that has other buttons, because I also need to turn on the. Yeah, I need to turn on the merge block as well. Turn it on and off. And look at that, we need more computers. Oh, I think RD1 was waiting for either computers or construction components. We were producing computers before, so I'm assuming construction components. Let me queue up a few of those for him. And I'm just gonna queue up a few more computers as well. Okay. Alright, so let's have this one be whichever merge block. Let's see which one's off. So merge block, and then we'll call this merge block tower. And then look at the hinges. Not this one. This is the one that we want to move. This one is, so let's do. I should also, since I've been naming everything this way, I should do tower 1. Let's go back to those merge blocks. All right. Anything else? Maybe the wind turbines, we put that on as well. All right, let's go these guys. And new naming, tower 1, space, prefix name. There we go. This is a mod called Easy Block Renaming, and I highly recommend it to everyone. All right. I think that's everything. Let's make sure to... I guess we're not grouping anything together for this. So, button 1, we're going to turn on and off the block base. Toggle on and off. And dynamic hinge, let's reverse it. I'm actually thinking instead of reversing it, I'm just going to do... Isn't there a... extend and retract? I guess not with the hinges, right? Yep. Alright, we'll just do reverse. Okay. Let's try it out. Turn this guy on and let's reverse this. See what happens. Look at that. Look at that. It worked. Nice. Yeah, and so then when a storm comes through, kind of like one's coming right now, but one of the big storms. Yeah, this is just an electric storm. One of the light storms, so this will just charge our batteries a good amount. I say batteries, but I mean singular battery. And then when a storm comes through, we will toggle this off. It'll unlink, and then we will reverse this back down. Maybe I need to increase the braking torque a bit so that way it doesn't bounce like that. But overall, feeling pretty good about that. Let's see. What would be the fastest way that I could do a protective thing on it? Never would have thought of doing that. Well, thanks. Honestly, I think that the move at the current moment would probably be to because I don't have blast doors, I don't have heavy armor, and I don't have large grid welders. So I think for the time being, in this V1 version, that's what V stands for this version of the tower, the small grid welders just facing up as like a pit here. Ah. Oh, that feels a little lame. What do we think? What are people saying here? Put it underground. Is the fastest you can get under the current blocks. Ah, Carl, you might be right, man. I don't want to put it underground. Because I prefer not to screw up the voxels. Why the 2 hinges? You need 2 hinges to merge back onto something. If you're trying to get the same grid to merge together, you have to have a subgrid between them. Rotor with a cover in the half cap rotating over the tower. Yeah, I could see that. The only issue is that anything that's big enough to rotate over onto the top of this tower would have to kind of be tucked in a weird way. So I'd either have to have it be on a hinge that unfolds as well as the rotor. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to take this out from here. And I'm going to have a hinge, and I'm just gonna have like a shield that will be off to the left if I'm looking at it from this direction, off to the left, and then we will have it fold over. Rotor to be mounted underneath the hinge. Not sure how to do that. Rotor to be mounted under the hinge. Welder rover. Yeah, maybe something with a piston and a rotor. Oh, you know what? I actually think that that'll work. If we do something, okay, all right, hold on. So if I have a okay, yeah, I think I got it. I like the piston and rotor idea. So if I take this guy, and this shouldn't screw up anything, right? Yeah. And then I'll do the scaffolding from the middle. I might change this to be something else other than just like straight blocks like this. So, but I need power to be out here to that piston. And then what I'll do is I'll have the should I do piston first or rotor first? I'm trying to think. Probably piston first, I think. And I'll have it so the I might have to dig underground for this a little bit to get that piston. My thought is that I'll have the shield be underneath, and then when the storm happens, I'll have the shield rotate to the left, let the thing tuck underneath as the piston extends, and then it will go back in place over top of it. Yeah, that's how I think we're gonna handle this. This will be where the piston is. Wonder if I can get away with not putting it underground. Because when it's fully extended, it will reach over this. So it actually might be better not to put it underground. Let's go The piston. Maybe it needs to go down one. Solar panels in a box to shield it when unfolding. You get a solar array. That would be really cool. I feel like that is probably at the edge of my engineering abilities in this game, because I've seen people do crazy folding out solar arrays. But I don't know exactly how to do something quite like that. I know that there are scripts and stuff, but yeah. Clamshell tarp could work. Why not build the sides and have a roof that opens with hinges and the tower goes inside and the roof closes? I think that will ultimately be the design. I think right now the idea of just having something that's a little cheaper to build is what I'm looking for. I ended up accidentally putting this right back where it was originally. But yeah, I think ultimately the design will be something like that clamshell. But as it stands, being able to just build a piston, a rotor, and then whatever armor blocks or things I want to put over it will be faster than configuring an entire thing to do that. We're gonna have to progress in stages. All right, and the rotor. You know, honestly, what would be really nice is if I don't have. I would like very much to get the welders, because the large grid welders, because if I had a conveyor access, like if I dug underground and had this have conveyor access to the base, then we could have the welders repair the shield. But I currently don't have access to it, so we gotta make do with what we got. Alright, this is what we're doing. I need to stop with the indecision and just pick a direction and go. There's a million ways it can be done. This is just the way that it's currently going to be done. My inventory, well, it's not entirely full, so that's...
Inventory full.
I'll move that to be somewhere else. Easy automation is great for that. Let's see.
Energy low.
Easy automation is great for that. It lets you program movements and conditions with a very easy document language. Let me write that one down too. This, Ricky, you also were the one who said more passages. I appreciate all the recommendations. So let's see. What was it called? Easy automation. Easy automation. All right, I'll give it a look. Guy, I'm back. I have to thank you for that hex code paint mod, Mavin. Yeah, no worries. It wasn't me. It was I found it just the other day from watching Bearcast. I feel like I say his name wrong and differently every time I say it, but it's Bercas. If you haven't seen his channel, you should definitely check it out. I thoroughly enjoy his stuff. He just recently made an elevator in his playthrough that is one of the wildest things I've ever seen. I don't know how his brain comes up with this stuff, but it is so awesome. I wish that I had his creative mindset. But yeah, he uses that color picker mod for like a lot, and it shows. Like seeing the gentle gradients that he does between his blocks of the same color. It's so cool. Like instead of let me show you my base. So instead of it all be like all of the orange being exactly the same tone, it's like to give it that wear and tear feel, just slightly off in different areas. And the areas that are like high traffic are the ones that kind of feel more worn than the areas that don't really, like, you know, life would be. He does a really great job. What do I have in my inventory that's making me so heavy? It's the metal grids. What we doing? Rotating out the turbines for some protection? Yeah, so I'm gonna have a I'm gonna lift this up here in just a second, and we're gonna build a shield on top of this rotor, and then what we're gonna have happen is when the wind turbine is up, the shield is right here. And then when the wind turbine comes down, it'll rotate out of the way while it is coming down, and it will also go up, and then it'll rotate back into place, and it'll be over top of the wind turbines. Alright, I'm running out of food. Well, I voted for @CarlMC idea for a pit and welders. It seemed like the easiest, cheapest in materials and most logical. Yeah, it's just the fact that it's like a bunch of small grid welders. And so once I started thinking about how to do it with the small grids, it's like, okay, we need to have all of the, like we have to have like another hinge. We'd have to make it so that the conveyors go through to the base. And have the components ready, because it's not just like the corrosive storm, the components don't get ground down, but for the heavy thermal storm they do. So the only time the welders become relevant is during that one storm, but the shield part will be relevant during both. No, I'm gonna leave that for now. There is a, where's the little thing over here? Okay, I don't know. So we will just build a new one. It's called a console. No, what is it? Is it a terminal? Whatever. This thing will let me access the base information, so we'll just use this for now. It's always something. I'm wondering what I could put instead of these to connect it. Do we just do trusses? Or do I just lean in, and instead of trying to get rid of it, I just have this slope extend all the way? I don't know. Are we out of steel again? I was looking for displays actually. Basic assemblers. Let's do some displays. I will take the plates though. Fergus's drilling rig was huge. That whole build reminds me of Minecraft more than Space Engineers. Yeah, the scale on that stuff is absolutely wild. Yeah, it's insanity to me. All right, let's fold this thing up. Let's go like that. And we want the dynamic hinge. Well, first let's make sure that the merge block is on. Merge block on. All right, now let's reverse the dynamic hinge right here. Reverse. Okay, there we go. Now let's build the shield that we want to go over it. Again, we're really only able to use the light armor, which is not my favorite. Let's look at the I'm gonna compare a couple different types of blocks. Let's grab the beam blocks. Let's grab the tarps, I think are a good idea. What would be another potentially? I could do something with the ramps to make it look like it's like a reinforced thing if those end up being good. You know, I've never used these cover walls ever. But I wonder what their integrity is comparatively. What else we thinking? Any other ideas? Hear me out. Build a hangar and put the turbines on a piston and double hinge. Have it come from under the roof to go out and then merge on top of the roof. That would be very cool. I do like that idea a lot. That would be really cool. I wonder how you could do that. Oh yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you could do that. Dang, man. Yes, okay. I like that a lot. That would be pretty cool. You'd need it. I mean, it would take a significant amount of resources to get that done, so it's definitely not a V1 territory, but I will keep that in mind for sure. Have you tried the survival mirror mod? Can't get it to work on my play. It's a mod that should let you place blocks like in the creative mode. I've never heard of that one, but I will look into that. Sounds interesting. In the future, you could have the whole tower descend into an airtight space with hangar doors with internal welders. That's true. I mean, honestly, like, we could build a machine that just has like a merge on it, so we can attach it to the base exactly where we want to do it, and then it has drills that will bore a hole that's 3x3, and it goes down to a certain point that we determine, and then we can just have a perfect hole that we then put armor blocks around, and it makes a nice little spot for these wind turbines to go down into. We could definitely set something like that up. But again, all of these things are things we're gonna have to do in time. All right, Let me see. Did anyone else sound off with any ideas for what we could do? Can you build heavy armor plates? I cannot. I can't build anything heavy armor yet, or blast doors yet, which would be ideal. Yeah, I don't know what more we have to work with right this second. So let's just do what we can with what we got. Also, interestingly, I'm going to look at these trusses because that might be kind of a way we can get a little bit more out of what we have. So the truss pillar is 735 integrity, 735. These cover walls are 700, which is not very good. 380, 700. I mean, they do have explosion resistance, which is kind of nice. So maybe they're not entirely useless, because when blocks get destroyed by the weather, they do deform and explode. Okay, what about the ramps? 1650, so that's the best one so far. Actually, the stairs is the best one so far. 1650 versus the 1530. I wonder why those two are different. Huh. Okay, let's see about these. Okay, so these... Oh, you know what else I should be looking at? Is it tells you how long it takes to grind them. So that's 5 seconds. This is 6. This is 5, 5, 2. So that's not great for the other storms. 3, 2, 2. So far this is winning on the grinding, but it's lowest or lower on integrity for the other storms. This will be an interesting math thing. Okay, now this one, it grinds pretty quickly, but it also has a higher integrity. And then let's compare this, which is 2500, to the light armor, which is 13. So for the thermal storms, we're best set by using these beam blocks, because that one's based on integrity, and the other one does welding damage, which I think would mean these would be the best bet for the grinding. Or sorry, it does grinding damage, which means we want something that takes longer to grind. Okay. Alright, let's think. Just thinking of... Let's see what you guys are saying. Just put a searchlight on top. We know they are immune to damage. Wink, wink. Yeah. Josh Davies. Hey, bro. I'm busy watching your Zomboid 100. It's so good. Well, thank you very much. Just thinking your base could put down important infrastructure during the storm and then merge them back on after the storm. But that is cheating the storm. Ignore me. Oh, yeah. Gotta give you some thumbs up for the music choice. Do you have a playlist that I can get a look at? This one I don't think is on Spotify. Yeah, I don't currently have this one available for other people, but I can certainly, if other people are interested, I can certainly put something together. I have my other No Suit playlist on Spotify for people to check out. These are just songs that are from Epidemic Sound. All right. Thinking. I think what I want to do is for the general base shape, we should have something with higher integrity. So let's go with one of these beam blocks, and let's just do the beam cube. And then I think I want to have a central beam that everything kind of comes off of. It doesn't need to go all the way. So let's have it go something like, I do have expanded beams, so let's maybe this guy. And then we'll put the edge piece. Okay. Now on the sides, This is tricky. Let's see. So this will have the best integrity to protect us from the thermal storms, which haven't been as big of a deal as some of the other ones. I mean, when it happens, it's a big deal, but it hasn't happened as frequently. So I'm wondering if what I could do is
Energy low.
set up these stairs on the top, so these get hit first by the corrosive rain. Kind of want them to be out like that, but I want it to be up a little bit more, so that way it can cover the guys up, like these guys up top. You know what, honestly, I wanted to do this V1 version a little bit faster, so instead of building it too wide, I'm gonna do this. Let's just see. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that much canvas. But that would be pretty cool, setting these guys up like that. I wish there was like a 2x2 net. Is the trade-off block HP versus grinding time? Is it the component density that changes the ladder? I honestly do not know. I don't know. I didn't realize that build vision, or not build vision, build info told you how long it takes for something to grind. So I actually don't know if it is component based or what. Let's see how expensive the canvases are. Plus, I have to recharge anyway. If the canvases will not just absolutely break the bank right now, I think I would like to go down that route because they are very cool, and they're pretty helpful. I finally caught you. I've been trying to figure out when you stream for a week, but I'm too lazy to install Discord. No, it's all good. I've kind of impromptu with it anyway. So glad you were able to stop by. Dave Allen, are the hinges protected by the merge block? You definitely don't want them falling. Yeah, so I think the hinges, we had them through a corrosive storm already, and it doesn't look like the hinges get targeted, which is a nice feature that the mod author, I think, put in. Yeah, we were going to check the production of canvas. Okay. Let's see. So it's 11 silicon per canvas, and I need like 20. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that is absolutely gonna break the bank. I I cannot afford that even a little bit. Okay, well maybe when we get a an actual mine that will give us silicon, but that's not an option right now. Bummer. Let me get some food and water. Alright, open the helmet and let's eat some emergency rations. I actually think I'm almost entirely out of food. I haven't really been focusing on that. Yeah. Okay, well we do have a emergency ration maker, and I do have gravel. I don't know how much ice I have, but let's just... It doesn't take too much to make the emergency rations, because these are the worst types of food. So, yeah, because I have to eat 8 of them to get back up. If you have solar panels, they might be decent for the shield part. Do I have the solar panels? I don't have the vanilla solar panels, unfortunately. I do have a mod to give us like better solar panels, because I did want the variation, because usually when you're on a planet there's no reason to do solar panels because they just are not as good as the wind turbines. But I still don't have the vanilla ones unlocked, which means that these should be locked behind the research. They're just not, because they're not programmed in it. Let's see about some more of these. Does the tarp mod do anything if they're not above the grid? No, not really. They're just cool. Like, I think they were just made for cool decoration, but I'm trying to use them for protection against the corrosive storms. You know, it'd be a way that I could do that, honestly, is I can set up. I think that is what I'm gonna do. I can set up in the config files to like blacklist certain blocks from taking damage. I think because they're so expensive, I'm actually gonna blacklist the tarps from the corrosive rain. That way, they have a. We're not worried about their specific component count. It's just like that's the counter, right? And then it'll be cool because we'll have an interesting base. Are catwalk blocks comparable to the truss blocks? That's an interesting question. Let's see. So these guys, let's go with the full-size one. This is the generic one. It is integrity 1,260. And then the truss blocks are, let's go over here, 735. So the catwalks are better. Actually, what do we say it was? It was like 1,000 something something? 1,260. Comparatively to some of the other stuff, like even... Oh, no. Okay. Light armor is in the 2,000s, and then the what? The beam is in the... No, the full size. 2,500. Beam cube, 2,500. Yeah. Alright, close the helmet. Open up or depressurize the room. Turn off the fan and let's open the door. I should make a proper airlock, but I have a lot of things on my to-do list right now. You know, that's actually that question has led me to the answer I was looking for. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to They're a little less great, but I kind of don't want to deal with. I don't want to look at like upside down stairs because it looks weird. So I feel like the ramp is a little bit of a better choice. I'm gonna put these down every like, what? How long is this? Let's just do that and let's see. So 2, 3. I should have done it. Nope. It's just gonna. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll put catwalks over the top, and then that way the catwalks take the brunt first, and then it will get down to, once it gets through the catwalks, it'll get down to the beams and stuff. But I like using the catwalks because they're not super. They're not super ugly and not super thick, but they have a really good integrity. Words are hard, man. All right, and we'll put this ladder up there as well so I can get to the top. Okay, that's the thing. Turn on the scanner for silicon. I don't know if that's really going to be super helpful right now, because we'd have to go out to the silicon and then I would mine like a little bit of it, but I don't think we'd get enough in one single trip, and that's if it's as close as the iron. I don't think it's worth. Oops, I don't think it's worth the time right now. And I can't put the ore tap on it yet because we have to finish building the facility for the iron before I can build an ore tap for another node. All right. I wonder if there's a difference between the ones with the rails and the ones without the rails. So this is 1440. That's 12. Ooh, interesting. And that's 8. Yeah, so the rails are definitely better. Yeah, let's do these guys. Actually, for this one, I'll put it like this, and we'll just have it like run in tandem along the sides. Ramp plus catwalks looks more like they're actually protecting the turbine with stuff your engineer would have access to. We're being responsible aesthetic engineers. Thank you. Hey Mavin, I had a thought. What if you blacklist certain items like the tarps on the corrosive storms, but if you keep it whitelisted on heat storms so it isn't an instant win? Yeah, no, that's exactly what I would do. It's like the counter for one doesn't necessarily counter for the other, and so you have to find a good mix of both. Absolutely. What did I need for these to place them down? Construction components. All right, I think I'm gonna have to actually head back over to the. Let me put all this stuff back, and head back over, get more iron. I'm gonna put this stuff away too. And why don't we have our friend here come with us? Follow me. I didn't grab all of it out last time, so hopefully there is still some in there, and also hopefully some of the non-corrosive storms brought enough power with the existing wind turbines to keep powering it for a little bit. But we are down a wind turbine or maybe two from the last storm. I think the component density have an influence on block HP and grind time. Makes sense why they used to use refineries for armor in the old PvP days. Oh yeah, we lost 3 wind turbines. I doubt this thing's been going. Yeah, I think you might be right. Let's see. Well, we still have a good amount in here for our needs. But yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Hey, bud. All right. Inventory. Would you take this, please? And we'll bring that back to the base. You know, it's interesting. I wonder if the the models actually affect the inventory space of these guys. Excuse me. Because in the more suits mod, the different models have different benefits. So like the combat one has higher health. The builder guy is slower but has more inventory space. And so I wonder if I set up the next AI to be a builder model, just like currently I am, where I have the huge backpack, if they will also be able to carry more. That would be kind of interesting, because then it's like, you know, let's say I named him Bob, then I could like bring Bob with me when we have a rover, and then we could fill up the rover and then fill up both of our inventories, and then we could get back to the base and go on a trip and stuff. That'd be cool. The Mavin of last week could have only dreamed of 20k iron just sitting around. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Absolutely right. Ah, man, I want the rover so bad. All right, where's RD1? Hey, man, over here. Where are you going? Where? Hey, he's got the zoomies. All right, come on. All right, now let's grab the construction components that we need. And I'll sleep through the night as well. Okay. Let's grab those construction components, and we'll set up our shield a little bit. Come on, brain, where are the components? There we are. So let's actually set more to produce. Let's do like a couple hundred, because that's what we need. Alright, now let's head on up there, place the catwalks down, and I don't know if there's a good way I could get RD1 up here to help me out with this. If he had a jetpack, I mean, if either of us had a jetpack, but particularly these guys with their pathing, if he did, that would be nice, but he doesn't. So I'll send him back to the base. And the cool thing is that because this is all one grid, from what I understand, even though we're not going to fill in the left side or the right side between these, because these blocks are higher than the beam blocks right here, the beam blocks should... Wait, no, that's not true. I think that was a different thing, actually. Yeah, no, that's... I lied just now. Yeah. Well, I guess that means that we're going to be doing some additional blocks down the middle here because we don't want to lose this part. This is a weird looking thing for sure. This really is going to be a pain to weld. That also means somebody might have said that. Oh, it rotates on. Yeah. I find it fascinating how, with such strict rules, you're looking at block HP and grind times when you build. This roof you're building, absolutely OSHA approved. Look at how many railings. That's so funny. Yeah, so many railings. Yeah, these scaffolding blocks just do not have good stats. Yeah, I think we're just gonna stick with the rails. I'm not gonna have a fifth line of rails. I think what I'm gonna do instead is this. Have that like that. Because this will cover the whole wind turbine thing pretty handily. Honestly, this may be overkill in the protection for those things, because I'm pretty sure if I did like a single block over them, it would probably work. Would that be the more responsible thing to do with resources, is to just have the single block do it? Yeah, it really would. Because there will be, I mean, this will be an entirely different grid in yeah. Let's just be smart. Otherwise, I'm going to be spending the rest of the time that I have today welding this. So let's cut back where we can. I do want the shield to look cool and function well, but I also, until we have something that can like weld, this is a great deal of effort to weld all that stuff by hand, just walking back and forth without a jetpack. All right. I'm a little sad by that, but I'm also, like, the child in me is sad that I just bailed on that whole thing. But the person who also, the adult in me that has to deal with the resources is happy that I made that call. I'm actually gonna weld this before I put that back on. can always do the roof after. It's true. It's true. Alright. Let's grab basic assembler, and we need a lot of those, and we need steel tubes and construction components and girders for the catwalks. So steel tubes, girders, and a ton of construction components, which we currently do have a good amount. Let's see. Auto rotate is on. Yeah, I never really messed with that. I just kind of, I don't know. I've never taken the time to understand what the auto rotate does or doesn't do. Probably should. Be wise. I think we are still going to need some more of these. Maybe not that many, but let's do another 30. Alright, let's get started on this. The cost cutting? This is not OSHA approved. Corporate greed will kill you. We still got rails along the whole thing. Alright, now let's put this down. Yeah, let's grind that, weld this, and then weld that. Oh wow, I needed way more steel tubes than I thought. I'm just gonna grind all these off and then replace them.
Energy low.
OSHA had less than 5 seconds of being happy. It was all part of the plan to lie to them about the railings. Hashtag railings are failings. How do I auto rotate is annoying. How do I turn it off? I probably turned it on by accident. When I end up freaking out when a storm shows up or something, and I just like start pressing all the buttons on my keyboard hoping something happens. T. Alright. There we go. It is off. Okay. We need a little bit more steel plates. Ton more of these. Except we don't have enough resources. Again. Unfortunate. Let's... I guess... Okay, let's think about this. Let's get our wind turbines over there done. Let's see. So I just need motors and computers. The rest of the stuff I have. So let's do it. Motors, computers. I'm going to let's go production, basic assembler. Let's set this to disassemble metal grids because I think we have a good amount of those just sitting in the base from all of our heavy armor. Alright, now let's assemble not these. I need the what was it? Yeah, motors. I need 8 per. We lost 3 wind turbines, so 16, 24. What else do we need? Computers, we have plenty of those. Girders, I think we're okay. Let's see, 24, 60, 24, 48, 20. Yeah, I think. And interior plate, we have enough. Interior plates. Am I missing something? Construction components, we have a good amount. Computers, we're good. Still don't have all the motors. Okay. Alright. Am I missing anything? About 130 viewers. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. We've had so many people hanging out this this weekend. It's wild. I've never had these kind of numbers. It's a lot of fun. I just because we have so many people that show up for this for the space engineer stuff, it'd be cool to I'd like to lean into that a little bit more because I mean just a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. It's not not stuff that you guys probably don't already know, but when you work on YouTube, it is exclusively viewer based, right? Even if you have sponsorships from companies, also like your negotiating ability is all viewer based. And so for space engineers, which is more niche, there's not much you can do comparatively to like a game like Zomboid, right? But if you offset like sorry, I'm trying to think and weld at the same time. If we stream frequently and we have a bunch of people show up and stick around and hang out for several hours, it's like that is the one viewer on a stream and they stay for a lot longer than like a 20-minute video. The numbers at some point do balance out, even though it's less. Like if I stream more often and we have a good amount of people show up, then I don't know. I feel like we can make the whole space engineers thing work a bit more. Not that I don't want to do Zomboid stuff too. I enjoy that as well. But I think I jumped ship a little bit on space engineers because I was afraid when the views kept going down for each subsequent episode, because just sequential story stuff, people just lose interest over time. It's literally any media. So I'm not taking that personally. It's just anything that has a episode 57 gets watched less than the pilot episode. But I wonder if there are ways to counteract that with the streaming and stuff. If you dual stream like Twitch and YouTube and Discord can help as well. I didn't know you could stream to Discord, to be honest. Non-SE question. You've mentioned you've played D&D. What's your class, playstyle, and choice? So I've played D&D now for a long time, and so I've played for my main campaign that I've been a part of, like the same group for, goodness, like almost 5 years now. I mean, we've done several campaigns in that time, but my first character was a dwarf paladin. I forgot I have iron in my inventory. A dwarf paladin, and that one was when I was pretty new to D&D. And then my next main character was a human warlock. And the character that I'm playing right now is a goodness, what is it? Oh, he's a human rogue. The reason I do human is because in this campaign we were trying to do more of like a grounded kind of experience. So it's like it's more like your traditional fantasy stuff where most people are humans, and then you have kind of the offshoots of different races and classes in different areas of the world. But yeah. The wind turbines going on the other thing. I was getting the components so that way I could make more small steel tubes for the construction of our stuff. Don't need computers for the catwalks. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is once I finish this, I don't know how much time I'll have left because I got to dip in about 20 minutes. But once I finish this thing and I set it up with an event controller, which should be relatively simple, we will. I'll try to start working on that rover, and I wonder if there's a good way that I could blueprint this, because it would be really nice. It'd be really nice if I could just blueprint this and then slap a projector on and recreate. I know it can't do subgrids, but just being able to have, like, on our rover, have an arm that just reaches out and has a welder on the top, and I can just drive by it and it will weld the whole thing. That would be great. Wait, what am I trying to do right now? Oh, it's the wind turbine. Alright, and we have construction components. What about girders? Well, if we need more, we know where to find it. Let me hop in this guy right here. And likes are pretty important on YouTube. Yes, it's true. It helps with viewability. You know what's a little bit like counterintuitive when it comes to the whole YouTube game is if you want to try something new, it's better to not, like, there's a toggle on YouTube where you can change what audience your content goes to, whether you want it to go to your current audience or you want it to bypass them and go to somebody else. Because what happens is, for example, my Zomboid stuff likely didn't do as good at the beginning as my space engineer stuff, because it was a new thing, and the people that were watching my space engineer stuff might not have been interested in Zomboid. Obviously that's changed, but now I have a larger audience that is interested in Zomboid. But those guys, if I post a Space Engineers video, are not interested, right? So if I wanted to play RimWorld, for example, it would be better off for me to not let you guys know about it on YouTube's terms, than for me to be like, hey everyone, like, shoot to all of my subscribers who said they're interested in watching my videos, like, here's this new thing, because it, like, YouTube will, if less people click on the video, right, because they're not as interested in that than the other stuff, which makes sense. YouTube's like, oh, if your subscribers are not going to watch this video is trash, which means we're not going to show it to anyone. And so it's sad, but your own subscribers can kill your video, even if it's a good one, if it's not something that's like directly in line. So that's kind of a tough thing for people who want to do like variety channels and stuff, until they have an audience that's down with the variety. And then at that point, you know, if you're like, let's game it out, or what's his name, like Real Civil Engineer, and people like that, where they are all about like playing a new game every week or however often they post. Yeah, you can kind of get stuck a little bit, which is a little weird. Thanks for answering. Weirdly, even in high, I feel like I'm like having these like two conversations at once. I apologize. That's awesome. Thanks for answering. Weirdly, even in high fantasy, human is always the most popular race. It's true. It is true. I guess I was saying that because I was like, I'm different. I know it's the most popular race, but I like playing other stuff too. But yeah, and in my long-running campaigns, that just kind of ends up being the thing. Also, humans have a great starting feat, which gives you extra. What is it? They changed it recently, actually, with the new system, D&D 1 D&D. My catalog brain for D&D knowledge is a little empty right now. My brain's slowing down a bit. I'm one of the oddballs who rarely is ever human. I think that works. We are currently human, so I feel like it's not entirely weird to be like, all right, what do these other things got going on? All right, finally this thing is done. Okay, let's set this up. I want to make sure that I don't accidentally make it not attached to the grid. Which, did I already do that? I don't know. I'm gonna grind all this stuff down and let's go off of these blocks. Yeah, I forgot about this thing. Actually, funny enough, the way I'm currently angling these is not going to connect it to this grid, like add security to the grid connection, but maybe that will. That's fine. All right, and okay, so Let's just make sure that this works and it's not going to bump into that. Let's go piston, reverse. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey, you know what we should do? Share inertia. Yeah, that would have been bad. Huh. You know what's a funny side effect of this? Is it actually kind of acts as like a little crane thing that lets me get close to the wind turbines. I didn't even think about that, but this actually, it has a walkway on the top of it that will let me, if I extended it out further, it would let me get close. I mean, I already have it set up, so it's gonna come down, but that is a funny little side effect. Okay. Let's make sure this works. Are these out of concrete? It looks like it, right? I want to replace these with something else that's less ugly, but not right now. I think I'm just gonna put the event controller for this thing behind this, just so it kind of corresponds with the tower itself. I know it's still connected, but that was giving me the heebie-jeebies. Okay. Now we should be good. Cool. And let's get an event controller. And we're going to need some timer blocks as well. Oh no, come on. Thought I added the event controller to my thing. Alright, let's see. YouTube algorithm is really funny about having multiple audiences to keep as many watch hours going as possible. Diversifying stocks is very similar, I guess. Yeah, it's a weird game. It's interesting. Good thing I love both. Haha, it's funny how each of the content creators you mentioned are all people I watch. Yeah, it's I feel like there is quite an overlap. That's the algorithm for you, Carl. It's the same here. I mean, they're also people I watch. I watch them all the time. I mean, I feel like the one that might be more of a stretch, not really, but would be Let's Game It Out. But I mean, his videos are so big. I think most people who watch gaming content have seen his stuff. But it's not a stretch for Real Civil Engineer, because we're currently live doing Space Engineer. So I feel like that maths, right? All right, where do I want to put the timer blocks for this? I guess how many timer blocks will I need? So the event will be triggered when there's a certain type of storm, and then there will be a timer block that will say reverse that hinge, turn this off and reverse that hinge. And there will be a timer block that I think the same one. Come on, brain, we can do this. I'm gonna reverse the piston over there. This is tower 1. let's go with the rotor. And this is Tower 1 armor rotor. Alright, and then what we will want is event, let's see. Event weather. Weather. Oh, am I gonna have to do two of these? Thanatos, storm, corrosive.
Energy low.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do 2 of these for each one. Well, you know what? I actually bet I could set up the event controller to where the stuff it triggers is like we can have the timer blocks that it trigger be universal, I guess. So when we have multiple of these things, it'll run all of them when the storm happens, so I don't have to have an event controller for each individual instance. Okay, so this is gonna have to be a timer block. How do I want to handle this? I think the way I would like to do it would be to convert to small grid and then use like small timers to do it. So that way we don't just have to have like a ton of large grid timer blocks to do these little actions. But the question is where? Where, oh where do we want to do this? OSHA sleeper agent. I used to play with a marble mod that you would need to mine for blocks instead of having concrete blocks for protection. Interesting. Oh, that. I'm gonna look up that too, because that's a kind of a cool idea. If I understand it correctly, it's like you have to get a specific resource to use to counteract the storms. That would be pretty sweet. I'm back. Is it built yet? Kind of. Yeah, it is. I just need to. I need to set up the timers and stuff. You know what? I think rather than setting up the timers right now, I'm going to set up an alarm, and it's gonna remind me that I need to take the stuff down. So let's do a nice sound block right there, and let's do a rotary light. Right there, and let's do one right here. All right, and now let's set those up. Oh, we're in inventory. Control panel, light. So rotating light, let's turn them to the red. Let's do a bigger radius, good intensity. Rotating speed is a little bit slower, so that way it just doesn't give, you know, a seizure. And prefix name, block group. I'm actually going to put these in a group with the sound block.
No energy.
Okay, hold on. All right, let me read these. I've been pretty bad at doing reading. Let's see. I used to stream Empyrean. It's like SE's ugly sister, lol. But then I moved and didn't have internet for a bit, but never really got back to it. It happens, Carl. But that I played Empyrean before. I didn't get super far into it, but I feel like it had good bones. Another game that is interesting to me is Starship Evo. I don't know if you've heard that one. You should use 2 timer blocks. Don't forget you can set the position of the rotors or pistons now. Yeah. I was planning on doing that. I do a radio show. That's more than enough. Couldn't imagine essentially playing a game while doing that and then editing it all. It can be a little interesting for sure. Like, the editing process is such an interesting one because you go from like just having all of this raw footage that you're like, what am I even gonna do with all of this? And then you kind of refine, and then at some point you're just like, I cannot stand this. I hate this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. The pacing's all off and everything. And then usually for me, the time when it finally comes together is right about when I put in the music and stuff. And at that point, I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad. But most people that I've talked to that do stuff, like do editing and stuff, they're like, oh yeah, there's that middle phase where you just like hate what you're doing because you've watched it so many times. Every sentence loses its meaning. Okay, so these are going to be our base storm warning. Save. And this sound block, I want to increase the range. And let's pick a sound. No, that's not big enough. I need... No, not music. I want... Let's see. Target acquired. System powering up. Alert?
Alert.
Warning?
Warning. Warning. Warning.
I think that works. Alright.
Warning.
Offering emotional support?
Offering emotional support.
Oh, that's literally what the word said.
Warning.
Okay. Loop time. How do I set up the loop? I don't know. But as long as we can hear it and it goes off when we have all the stuff. So let's, I guess, go back into the event controller. Control bed. Event controller, and this is going to be, since it's going to control all of them, we'll do base event control, and this will be storm warning. Weather event, corrosive. I would like that to be able to do multiple, but I shouldn't complain because this is a mod that even lets you detect weather events. So, set up actions. Go to groups. Go to storm warning. When the condition is true, toggle blocks on. When the condition is false, toggle blocks off. X. Okay, and then let's turn these guys off. I guess play sound is not the same as turn it on or off. I would need a timer block to have it play, right? Yep. That's a bummer. Okay. Okay. I'm about to get a text somewhere soon that is going to tell me, oh, I don't have access to timer blocks, so that's not gonna happen. Bummer, dude. I guess do I just do I do a different event controller that just has it play? That's dumb. Use another toolbar? Oh. Hey, good point. I sometimes, and by sometimes I mean almost always, forget that these have multiple toolbars. How do I switch between them? Control? There we go. So sound block. Play. Sound block. Stop. Is there like a increase loop time? Yeah, that should do it, right? I guess well, you know what? Let's find out right now, rather than wait. Let's do it. So let's go. Okay. Weather. Oh, there was an explosion in the distance. Corrosive. Didn't work. Why?
Warning.
Oh. What? Oh,
Warning. Warning.
What?
Warning. Warning.
I have no idea what's going on here. Why is it turning back on and off?
Warning. Warning.
Not timer. Event.
Warning. Warning.
What did I do?
Warning.
Oh, is that?
Warning.
Toggle block on, toggle block off.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
Well, this is
Warning.
incredibly annoying.
Warning.
When
Warning.
the storm is true, when it's false,
Warning.
turn the blocks off.
Warning.
I have no idea what's going on. LOL, just looking at the start of the stream, and indeed I missed the
Warning.
new antennas. Oh yeah, hey, thank you
Warning.
so much for the suggestion to get the
Warning.
updated mod. Okay, I gotta turn these things off.
Warning.
This is driving me nuts.
Warning.
It's gonna be helpful later.
Warning.
Nope.
Warning.
Oh, you're testing me.
Warning.
You're testing me. Yeah, anyway, thank you, Martin, for the suggestion. Also, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna fix that later. I should be wrapping up here pretty soon, but let's know what? No, let's not. I always want to get more done in a session than I do, and so I'm like last minute. I know that we're ending, but I'm like I could start another project. I could do it, but I shouldn't. I'm gonna be out next week. I am in the process of moving, so won't be able to. Oh, whoops! I'm in creative mode right now. I guess let's not grind that down to give me the resources. Let's break these apart. My bad. Yeah, I'm gonna be out next week, so that's kind of another reason why I'm like, come on, we could do it. But I should take a second to read the comments because I've been really bad at that today. I feel like I've been extra ADD, which is tough when you're trying to come up with storm protection for the base. I don't understand. Oh, no, we actually had this discussion earlier today, which is I need to have some kind of thing off the top here that covers, because they're all on one plane. All of these blocks are susceptible to damage. So we'll have to think about that later. But let me go inside, read some comments, and then we'll wrap up for today. And hopefully, while I get settled, my brain can kind of munch on ideas for how to spice this thing up and get the rover going, because I think that the rover is going to be a huge game-changing event for us. Being able to go get more iron, being able to throw a welder on there and be able to build faster. Honestly, we had one storm today, which I'm grateful for, but now I'm thinking about it, I was like, maybe it would have been a better idea to do the rover before the wind turbines. But it's all part of the learning process. All right, let me go through these. Sorry, everybody. Let's look. All right, I'm gonna go back up a bit because I'm a little late. I really wish they would let us have different grade welders and grinders for ships so we can upgrade and go faster. It sucks hand grinding is faster than the ships. Yeah, I do agree. I wish there was some variability there. I think there are mods that add that. Heard you talking about D&D. Have you ever tried the MMO D&D online? I have not. Honestly, YouTube is where it's at because of the videos. You're here anyways, and you can consume whenever you want, as we are used to for over a decade now. Once you're here, might as well watch. Yeah. A stream of your favorite YouTuber. Oh, might as well watch a stream of your favorite YouTuber. Yeah. Introducing the human element to emergency there, Mavin. Sounds like fighting talk with the powers that be. Yeah, it's true. I have this stream on while playing SE. I keep thinking when Mad runs out of energy, it's me. That's very funny. So many noises. You may wish to expand the range to the outer edge of the base. Maybe use the new broadcasting system and have it put something in chat. Oh, that's a great idea. I'm gonna write that down too. Good one, Carl. Broadcast that the storm is incoming onto my chat menu. Then hopefully I won't ignore it. Put in the event controller. Got point. You can use multiple toolbars. Periods and commas. Step left and right through the toolbars. You broke it. I think you misset the on. Yeah, I don't know what I did. I had an issue trying to do this too. Does it only make it start playing but not turn off till it registers the next storm, then turns back on? I don't know. That's a good question. I might have to. Yeah, I think the getting the timer blocks will fix that, because it's like if I have everything under the timer block, then it's like run this, and then I'll have a timer block to turn on the stuff, and then after another time it'll turn off, and so I really only need to worry about when true. Yeah. LOL, just looking to start the stream. Indeed, I missed the new antennas. We'll fix them in a few. Proto Eden. Never got it to actually work myself. I think you missed the set on and off. Warning. Maybe you didn't let the weather set incorrectly and set out. That could be true, TNT. Mark Norton, when are you next streaming? I don't know. It will probably be the week of the 11th. Because I have to like pack up a bunch of stuff and ship my computer. and so it really depends on how quickly the shipping process goes. Yeah, so hopefully the week of the 11th, once I get there, I'll kind of make an announcement like, hey, I'm going to be streaming this week. That'd probably be nice for you guys too, huh? Because I only let people know like 20 minutes before I start streaming, rather than like, hey, on Wednesday I'm going to stream. So I will put out an announcement. I will also write that down on my to-do list because I forget things. That's my ADHD brain. Okay. Good luck with the move. Thank you. I like that you don't feel the need to respond to every single comment. Well, as I'm reading all of them right now. Catwalks plus tarp covered base. Yes, I like that idea. TBH, Mav, I had realized a rather depressing thing, and so my day was ruined. This stream was nice to help me recover. I'm sorry to hear that you had something happen today, but I'm glad that hanging out was fun. It started not just rocky, but outright hostile. Sorry to hear that. For goodness sake, please get the tarp done. Yeah. We need a ton of silicon, and I don't really have the access to that right now. Yeah, happy birthday. I should have said that too. Hello, fellow kids. Hello, Carlos. How's it going? Very eye-opening seeing because my ears very eye-opening seeing coffee engineered coffee make his deployable turret comment in chat. The broadcast controller is actually pretty handy. I need to mess with that. I haven't really done a ton with that. Beeble Raid. Good evening. Oh, hey. Beeble, thanks so much. I'm actually just ending right now. But I appreciate you doing that, man. Yeah, I'm just reading the last little bit of comments before heading out. I'm going to be gone for a week, but yeah, I'll be checking in on you guys though. I'm excited to see what everybody comes up with. I do know the game Star Citizen. I've played it a little bit. I haven't touched it in a while though. I can recommend to get your tower shipped on your own. Yeah. You will go through all the problems you will encounter, I'm sure of it. Hello, I was here at the beginning of my life, but then I had to leave. Can we make a rover now? We can. Yes, we can. We just didn't get around to it tonight because it took obviously always longer than we thought. But I just got the text that says it's time for me to go. So I'm gonna have to log off. But thank you all for stopping by. Let me do a little spectator thing and kind of show what we got done today. So we built out the interior and got some additional NPCs. This is Pierce and this is Shirley because we're kind of going with a community TV show theme. And then that's the habitat. We still need to outfit it with some extra protection stuff on the front and sides and probably do lighting. Excuse me. And we got our stackable wind turbines and deployable little shield thing. So the way it's going to work is when the storms come through that will destroy your blocks, we're going to duck this down. We're going to have this arm swing out. This will tuck down, and then this will go. It's on a piston as well as a rotor, so it'll go up and then spin back, and it'll be over top of it. So what will get hit first is our catwalks and our beam from the storms rather than our wind turbines. And then once the storm is over, it will do the reverse, go back into place, and then our wind turbines will go back up. And that's kind of how we're going to do it. This is V1 of our wind turbine tower. We're going to make it more advanced and cooler as we go along, but based on our current resources, that's what we got going on right now. So thanks, everybody. And we will catch you next time.